Robin Hood is a heroic outlaw in English folklore who, according to legend, was a highly skilled archer and swordsman. Traditionally depicted dressed in green, he is said to rob from the rich and give to the poor. Archetypes for the Robin Hood figure can be found among the Celts, the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, and the Danes. Anthropologist Sir James Frazer relates the story of the ancient cult of Diana and the King of the Wood. He was the consort of the virgin goddess of the hunt, who died only to return again, as the greenery does each year. Frazer argued that the King of the Wood was a manifestation of the universal pagan archetype of the dying and resurrected vegetation god, whose rebirth was often acted out in springtime mock combat between the personification of summer and winter. Frazer gives several Germanic examples of this folk custom, in which summer is clad in greenery and winter is clad in skins or fur. In the May Games, or spring celebrations of the 15th and 16th centuries, Robin Hood acted as an archetypal personification of summertime. These games were celebrated at various times throughout the early summer season. Robin Hood was also strongly associated with the summer solstice or midsummer days, as well as on ancient Roman pagan festivals honoring Fortuna, the goddess of fate, on June 24th. The goddess Fortuna remained part of European midsummer festivities and customs into the Middle Ages. Anthropologist Margaret Murray proposed that paganism did not die out with the Christianization of Europe, but instead, practitioners of what she called the old religion retreated in secret into the woods at night to continue their ancient rituals. Murray suggested that the witch craze in Europe was an attempt by the church to eradicate these last vestiges of the earlier nature religions. Murray claimed that deity worship in these cults was a horned woodland god that dated back to Paleolithic hunting cultures, whom the medieval church equated with Satan. For Murray, the legend of Robin Hood was a veiled reference to the medieval witch cult, in which Robin Hood was one of the names for the leader of a coven, who was considered both priest and incarnate god.
For centuries, mankind has symbolized natural growth and nourishment, cycling through year after year in forms of a green man. The history of green man symbolism reaches deep into the past. Painted, carved into cave walls, megaliths, cathedrals, and even green man folklore exist as modern-day archetypes. Since before the dawn of measured time, the green man has been about his business, not of war, but of accommodation to sustain long generations of farming cultures. To call it a physical cycle seems to limit its scope and universality. The green man is a watcher, watching over our gardens and homes all over the world. The earliest lore dates back 600 centuries to 4000 BC.
Around 4000 BC, during the warm Atlantic period, the Indo-European language was spread with the construction of stone observatories like Stonehenge, becoming a continental utility, just as the English language is now spread through the global utilities.
Following food and crops, cattle-rustling northern Celtic culture traveled the Andronova corridor, merging with the goddess's agricultural way of life. The green man is a farmer. Heretofore, farming had been predominantly a feminine activity. The green man combines Mother Nature with male features, symbolizing the steppe warrior becoming a plowboy, a male farmer. There are countless numbers of these green man symbols found all over the world, dating back thousands of years. The green man is ever present, everywhere. The Green Man is a proliferous symbol still used today. Popular characters Pan, or Puck, and Bacchus, all are from European centuries long past. Peter Pan, even the Jolly Green Giant. And yes, the Incredible Hulk can be traced back through the Green Man.
The Jack of the Green figure is associated with new growth in spring and with May Day celebrations.
New images or old, the symbol of the Green Man lives on. Thousands of years, hundreds of generations have added and subtracted from his meaning, but one thing remains. As long as humans walk the earth, the Green Man will be watching.
The Green Man is found in many forms throughout history, but the common feature is the face covered by foliage, very often sprouting from the mouth. He is often found carved inside medieval churches and cathedrals, a bridge between the new beliefs of Christianity and the pagan beliefs it replaced, etched in stone by masons. The name Robin comes from the Norman Robert, a form of the Germanic version which originally meant famous or bright or even to shine. This is and always has been an indication of one who has achieved illumination or enlightenment. Horns were also symbolic of enlightenment or illumination, and green a symbol of resurrection and life, or the natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The Robin Hood legend provided, in effect, a way for the ancient pagan fertility rites to be introduced back into Christian Europe. Every May Day, there would be festivals with pagan rituals enacted around the maypole, a traditional symbol of the archaic goddess of sexuality and fertility. On Midsummer's Day, every village virgin would become metaphorically Queen of May. May Day would be, in fact, a day of orgy. 9 months later, it would produce throughout Europe its annual crop of children. My name is Robert Sepper. My thanks to those who have contributed to Atlantean Gardens, the nonprofit that produces these videos, my books, available on Amazon.com. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and a special thanks to Katie Adelson for the lovely fiddle playing. See you next time.